this club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0. Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
Oh, sir, it was a tough day at the office for Manchester United.
Against Grossman and 2 fumbles. What did you see about the Bears that would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. What we thought they were. We played them in preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
Sir, how we doing? Hello, darkness, my old friend. I thought us signing a 33-year-old over-the-hill striker was the worst part of my day. Little did I know, United showed up 6-1 to Spurs, of all teams. They are who we thought they were. Maybe we were who we thought we were, unfortunately. That defending, those early goals wasn't good.
Absolutely spineless from Manchester United. The Spurs are who we thought they were, sir. They were this, they got nothing. We got better players. We should have beat them. The red card, you got to say it. I mean, I'm going to say it for NBC, LFC, Arlo White, and his crew of minions out there talking about how bad Manchester United are. They're down a man because Lamela elbowed Martial in the face, and he literally a light slap back, and he goes down. That is the integrity of the game, sir. That is not, raising my son, that's not what you want them to play like. That shouldn't be rewarded on the pitch. The fact that it wasn't an eye for an eye, 2 yellows, VAR didn't sort it, that really is, look, the defense was terrible, but that red card, we haven't lost 6-1 in a while. Last time it was early red. This time was early red, but for pretty much nothing. That was a turning point on the day. After that, you could pretty much shut it off.
No, it's true. I mean, it wasn't good defending. We gave them some terrible goals. We got the early lead, blew it. But that was they didn't mention the red card for the rest of the game. It was very funny. It was they're playing a man down. They're like, oh my God, Spurs is playing lights out. Spurs are playing lights out. Yeah, they're up a man. We played like shit, but the red was absurd. I mean, Lamela going down like a sack of potatoes. And we're not even talking about the transfers. That's getting ugly as well. But, sir, how are we doing? It's going to be a long international break. But I thought we talked about it. It's a good time to lose. Great time to lose.
The excuse factory is just open for business today here, American Red Devils podcast. If you were going to lose big, you do it before an international break. Kind of have a reset. It hasn't been the start of the season we wanted. Ole, I'm sure, is aware of that. He's seen it. Brighton, shaky. We did our business in the EFL, but in the league, it's been tough, and it's been tough for a lot of teams. Look, it's been tough for the noisy neighbors down the road as well. So I think this league is going to be wide open. I definitely think getting smacked 6-1 by Spurs is not going to give anyone confidence about this side, especially the defending. But there's a lot of blame to go around for everyone. Ed Woodward, the Glazers, number one, clearly. Ole not getting the best out of this side. He deserves, some criticism. He's the head man. Not quite Ole out like Twitter would have you believe. And then the players, they deserve criticism because if you look at that team sheet, we have a better 11 than Tottenham. I mean, Son is probably the best out of the group at the moment right now. I thought he was injured. I transferred him out of my fantasy team. Comes back, scores 2, sir. Tough day at the office.
Now we're transferring United players out of our fantasy league. Martial, that red card is not helping any points.
3 games, big suspension for Martial, and pretty much nothing in it. I don't know how Lamela can elbow him literally in the face.
Insane. I thought we had VAR.
No recourse.
I thought the purpose of that was to make sure stuff like that doesn't happen. We could whinge about that all day, but at the end of the day, it changed the game. That changed it from a 2-1 game to a 6-1 game, and it was a red card. But we didn't play well. No one's performing anywhere.
Sir. The referee, like you said on you said it last pod. You talk the context of the game.
They didn't provide it.
23rd minute, you give them a straight red for that, and what happened before that? It's not an eye for an eye. It has to be either 2 reds or 2 yellows. It just ruins that. Literally, why show up and play? It ruins the game. And if he went studs up,
Right.
And totally, it was a egregious. I think Baye could get a red.
Right. That was
when
a
he stomped. That seems more of a straight red type of situation. But what Martial did, obviously retaliation, unacceptable. But Lamela elbowed him in the face. Literally, it rode up, hit him in the face, and you can't not give Lamela the red as well.
No, he hit him in the throat, but he did instigate. You can't be okay, it's an eye for an eye. You don't want to you should punish the retribution, but at the end of the day, Lamela did the elbow, straight up Argentine move. Playing down in Argentina, that's an Argentina move. It's just you get hit in the neck too. He hit him back in the neck, and then he holds his face, goes down the box, bro. It's if that's what kind of team you are, then good luck, Spurs. You can have it. That's why I haven't won a goddamn thing in 12 years.
Your lips are moving, and you're complaining about something. That's whinging.
What were you doing? Are you going to play that button over and over and over again? Because what else are we going to do? We're Manchester United fans in 2020. We're going to whinge.
Sir, we're whinging. We don't even... Where's the pod even going right now? Look, it's... it was a gut punch to start with the Martial pen, getting pumped, and then the defense crumbling. Worse than you could ever have imagined. It's almost where's Lindelof at? That's how bad it was. You're maybe Lindelof would be an upgrade. I don't know what was going on. But clearly United looked to be struggling to start this season. And it's not a surprise given we talked the run-in, the short break, everyone coming back. We had 10 internationals start our last game against Brighton. There's a lot of football going on. It's a relentless schedule. And if you don't start well, you have to play yourself into form like we talked about before. And we aren't doing that. And maybe this international break is exactly what we need. But we'll know, hey, if we're 12th come January 1st, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't know if he's going to be at the wheel. It's going to come down to the results. And it's too early to say Ole out. It's too early to say, Manchester United are doomed. You can't say that. You can't. Everyone's going to overreact and say that. But we have 2 weeks. Let's build it back together, get some defense going, and kind of kick on from there.
And speaking of confidence, speaking of context, it's the context. Okay, there was a red card in this game. Literally, the NBC announcers didn't mention the second half. How are you supposed to perform? You finished third, which was an achievement, and then they don't back you, dude. They're buying fucking Cavani the day before the window closes. Dude, it's such a bad deal, and it's such a Woodward signing. It's not who Ole wants. They're going to fire him again. The pressure's on the manager, but he is not going to be put in a position where he can ever succeed at this club, right? Because if you have a patch of 2 bad months, everyone's going to be calling for his head. But at the end of the day, it's we got to change heads elsewhere because otherwise we're going to this cycle goes over and over again, right? Make Champions League, don't fund the manager, fire him, put in a new manager, get in the players he needs to hit Champions League, and then don't back him again. It's it's around and around we go, and it's run by a bunch of clowns, and here we are at the circus, and it's going nowhere.
Sir, I think you're spot on with that. The only difference is this team is better than, the Mourinho team. This team is better than the LVG team, and this team is better than the Moyes team. We're headed in the right direction. We're getting that depth. I think Van de Beek is a good addition, but the whole idea is I feel like fans are arguing amongst each other on Twitter and the internet universe. It's Van de Beek can be a good signing, and Manchester United should prioritize other signings ahead of that, right? So the whole idea is Cavani can be a good signing for United, but we need center backs, we need a left back. Clearly defense should be the priority. So buying the Van de Beeks and the Cavanis without strengthening or selling Smalling, getting a new center back in, that is the frustration, is because anyone could see we need a right winger. We're light there. Greenwood, James, you can't ride them for entire season. So Sancho's the man. If not him, Dembele. If not him, sir, maybe you could try out for Manchester United. So the whole point is we know what we need, and we're not addressing those needs. And when you have that Ed Woodward hanging over you, it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough season. It's going to be a tough season. You don't address the defense. Everyone can see it. Defense, and we're not even thinking about a center back.
I'll tell you what you don't need. You don't need another overpaid personality. I hate to say it. We have a bad track record with South America. We really do, especially really expensive strikers.
Okay, you can shit on Cavani later, but I'm just talking about the no DOF, the no footballing vision, and seeing where we need to strengthen in those certain areas.
That is shown in Cavani. That's shown in the fact that he makes no sense. We spent all this time getting rid of Sanchez, and you bring in another Sanchez, huge wages. Personality, who knows? It's you're gonna bring him in, dude.
Let's talk about Cavani in the transfer section. You got a lot. I know you got a lot. You're coming in hot on Cavani.
Who's not?
But no, because you could arguably sign Cavani as long as you address the defense, left back, and right wing.
Have they?
They haven't. But you can't hate Cavani because that Manchester United is doing bad business. I think bad business with, right now, a questionable management because Ole hasn't gotten the boys to turn it around. It was a tight turnaround. It's a tough ask, and Ole hasn't gotten them playing well. Even though you look at that score sheet, I take us over Tottenham. Sir,
better team. We have a better team. I'm not worried about Tottenham. And you know what? You shouldn't judge Ole on these first 3 games because he got us third, and we have to give him credit for that. And I know everyone's memories is a snap second, and it will be. This whole window, the fact that now we have a loss, international window's ending, we have this domestic window until our next game, it's on the 17th. It's going to be a long 2 weeks. But that being said, it's like, I don't mind Cavani if you're making 6 purchases. But if this is your second buy and you got a day left in the window, it just feels like a club that, maybe doesn't have its act together.
I think we've known that from a long time. Hashtag Glazers Out, sir. If you would like your Glazers Out scarf or t-shirt, we have the Avram Glazer clown nose. You can check out americanreddevils.com. Click on store. We also have our new Greatest of English Football. We want it all scarves. I'm wearing mine right now as we record the pod because I need to remind myself. We have 20 titles, sir. No other team has that. It is tough times right now, but we will be back. We're Manchester United. Never say die. Remember that here. First, sir.
It might take us a while, but we will always be Manchester United. We will return to the promised land. But you know what? In the meantime, rape yourself in that scarf. Greatest of English Football. We have one at all. You might need a reminder because in the near future, it's gonna be a minute before we add number 21.
I don't know. Everyone's panicking. Can't panic. You can't. I've been watching this team for 2 years. I've been watching this team for 5 years, sir. I've been watching this team for more than 15 years. The ups and the downs. You've seen it. You've seen everyone panic on United have a big loss. You know what I say about a big loss? Get out of your system. 2 weeks to prepare. We're coming back. It's still going to be a tough fixtures, but we're going to be better than we were today. The red card. Look, we were. Sir, I'm dying right now. We weren't going to win with this defensive, mojo, right? We were going to lose today. We didn't need to lose by 5, but we lost by 5 because of a bad call. So it was a loss. We should be beating Spurs. We are Manchester United. We're not worried about Tottenham, but it just salt in the wound, sir. Salt in the wound. The extra goals, the red cards, salt in the wound. But I think everyone's freaking out a little too much. Let's just get through this window. Let's let Ole play a couple of months with the squad and then judge it then. Because we can't get over our skis on saying everyone's got to go.
Sir, you're finding closure in this pod. You're like going full circle. I'm very impressed. It's
pod
like
therapy.
The maturation you're showing. It's impressive. You're right. We should be positive. And that's a good point. It's like this would have been a 3-1 instead of 6-1 because of that red card. I wish the boys would have showed a little bit more when we got the red card. The game of the goal right after the fact was a shit one. And the second half, I don't know. It just, it was an ugly day all around. But that being said, we need to back our manager. We need to keep our head, and we got to know that you're right. This is the best team we've had since Fergie's left. At the end of the day, it's still the best squad. We still got a lot of good players. Who can Eddie cobble together? Who's going to buy from the championship? No, but I buy a center back from the championship.
No, of course. But you think of the names that we were thinking of bringing in, and it's like you think Grealish, you think Sancho. These are the type of names that could get us back to that tier, so that competing for the league. Where I think the frustration is because we saw great things at Ole. If he had the proper backing, we brought in the right players, we could have seen United maybe jump and challenge for the title. There's sort of a mojo aspect to it, and by having a sloppy window and a tight turnaround, we've seen the players struggle, and it's on Ole to get him up for a match. We got to turn this around. We got to turn the ship around, sir.
I mean, he's ultimately going to be the one responsible. His head's going to be on the plate if he doesn't turn things around. But he's been left out to dry by an ownership that has left him every manager before him, other than Fergie, and even Fergie, they left him out to dry to a certain extent. All these other clubs around, right? They're strengthened early. They back their manager. They've got signings in, and now it's just like you feel bad for Ole. It's on him. He's got to turn around. You're right. It's up to the manager. He's the responsible one. But he's got the freaking headwinds, dude, and poor guys. So I'm rooting for Ole, but it is a tough job.
Hey, I love this club. Love this team, sir. Love this pod. It is pod therapy. If we sound like we're rambling, sir, we have a lot to vent today. I think we're in the PSA still. Drop a review on iTunes. Take a screenshot. You email us at americanreddevils@gmail.com. We'll send you a sticker, sir. We have some Sack Woodward stickers as well. Subscribe on YouTube. We have some excellent merch coming down the pipe as well. Exciting times at the podcast, despite Manchester United being on the slide, sir. That's just the way life is. Ups, you got ups. You got third place. You got downs. You lose to Tottenham by 5. You got to take your lickings and move on. That is the challenge. We're talking about Manchester United 1, Tottenham 6, sir. Old Trafford, no fans. That lineup, let's jump in. No one can disagree here. Dave says world number 1 in net. Obi-Wan Bissaka at right back. Eric Bailly gets the debut. I think all fans wanted that after he's been playing well. Maguire, Shaw, Matic, Pogba midfield, Fernandez in the hole, Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Martial number 9 up top. Sir, any comments on that lineup? I thought Ole got it spot on.
I had no complaints. I was like, that's our strongest 11.
Big move for Bailly coming in over Lindelof. I thought maybe Lindelof would do it, but Bailly gets the nod. You like Bailly coming in there?
Oh, yeah. Lindelof, I mean, like, he hadn't had a good start to the season. Bailly played well last time he came out. It made sense. That was the logical choice.
Sir, well, this one gets going pretty hot. First minute penalty to Manchester United.
Their team began well. And here is Martial. And they are 12 yards from goal again. Yeah, well, I think Sanchez just got too close. He just got into Martial's space.
Obvious
and
pen.
he's upset at the way Martial has gone down. But listen, if you make any sort of contact in that position, then... Fernandez invariably spot on. And Manchester United out of the box fittingly.
Portuguese Magnifico. So that's the only one you're going to get today. Manchester United up by 1 minute in. Clear pen, 1-2, Bruno Martial. Thought it would be our day.
I was like, off and running, here we go. And, you know, off and running. Things are just like falling into place as much as they fell into place for our first goal. Wow, they certainly fell into place for Spurs' first goal.
Yeah, no, this was not long after, sir. 4th minute, they would take a hard right turn.
Maguire's in trouble here. Lamela is being a menace. And it is hammered home for an instant Spurs equaliser.
Some of the worst defending I think I've seen by Manchester United.
Harry Maguire doesn't know where to look.
This is like comical stuff, sir. Get out the circus music, right?
I was thinking that. You know, it's...
Embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. I mean, the
a
first goal was terrible,
header.
second goal, third goal was terrible.
Well, that was like the Bailly can't clear, Maguire can't clear, then he tries to head it back to De Gea, then when Lamela gets the best of you, I mean, come on. Lamela,
No confidence.
He's not
I
even
mean-
a player. Get out of here.
I mean, no one looked like they had any confidence in what they were doing. No leadership. It was all just kind of just fell apart. It was a sad, sad goal to give
So
up.
if you give up a howler in the first minute, fine. It's 1-1, playing at home. You know, we look good going forward. No big deal. Bailly, Maguire, just gotta get their heads together, right? Composure. You gotta bring it back. 7th minute? I don't think so.
2016, here is Son getting in behind again, and Son Heung-min has clipped Spurs into a 2-1 lead from behind inside 7 minutes. He's fit, okay. He's more than fit.
Eric Bailly snoozing, getting the nod on the start. Lindelof might have been snoozing too.
Kane assist
You know,
for a Son
terrible
goal.
play. This is terrible from Manchester United.
I mean, Lindelof doesn't have the pace to catch up, but that was bad. Beat, like, so bad. Just, like, ball watching and just beat. I mean, that's like a center back in the Premier League for Manchester United. Can't be doing that.
20th minute, Rashford, great opportunity to equalize, hits the bar, sir. I screamed so loud, I think I woke up your son who was taking a nap. This one, this is the one where I think if this goes in, it's a different day. But, you know, it wasn't meant to be.
No, because that was when we started to see some fight from United. They woke up a little bit, you know, like they gave up a shit goal, but they started clinking a little bit, you know, late teens, early 20th minute. If Rashford scored that goal, it would have changed everything.
Yeah, Greenwood got another opportunity in the 23rd, and then in the 28th minute, it's pretty much all she wrote.
Oh, it's a red card. It's a red card. It's a red card. I think it's De Gea. Is it De Gea? Goodness me. Well, I saw Lamela go down. I wasn't quite sure what happened. I'm not sure who's been sent off.
Well, it's violent conduct. Son is in again.
I mean, absolutely just, to me, this is the focal point, gotta be the focal point for the day. I know everyone will say an excuse, but that's a bad, straight red 3 games. I haven't seen that soft of a straight red. I can't remember ever seeing a red card given like that for something like that delicate. Obviously, Lamela diving as well. How is this behavior rewarded? VAR, get a grip.
I mean, it's funny when they like really swing and a miss on VAR calls. They never want to correct it when it's like such an egregious one where that, like, obviously, dude, like he like elbows him in the neck and then Martial cheekily just like slaps him back on the neck,
barely.
But he like hits it. He covers his face and goes down like an absolute sack of potatoes. Like, it's such a chump move. Like, you know what, Lamela, that's what you're gonna do. We'll remember that.
Well, it ruins
It's embarrassing.
the game.
No, it is.
But
It's like
because the contact he made with Lamela, yes, he did retaliate, but like it couldn't kill a fly. You know,
embarrassing.
It was very soft, and for him to make a meal of it, clearly VAR should overturn. It's a mistake. It's a yellow card, retaliation. I mean, let them play, in my opinion, probably no card. VAR should overturn that, and they decided not to, and that would change the game. And I think decisions like this in the 28th minute, you really can't come back from down 10 men here in this position if you're Manchester United. We did push forward, and we were exposed at the back. But, even before we had 10 men, we were exposed. 30th minute, we're not even going to play the audio. Goal, Harry Kane by hand Spurs a third goal. And this was very concerning because right after the red card, we're playing out the back. Eric Bailly makes a terrible error, I think, with a pass to Matic.
Yep.
And then we give up another sloppy goal at the back. So I think it's one thing to maybe go down 2-1 with sloppy defending, then get a red. But then after that, to give up this goal right in succession, 3 terrible defensive errors in a row for Manchester United. It's almost unforgivable. It's almost, you got to kind of take a look in the mirror and say, do these players deserve to be playing for this club? Like, is Eric Bailly put in against Spurs? We're thinking Champions League. He can't play in the league against Spurs. He's too shook. That's not good. It's not good for his mentality. So I like Eric Bailly. I think he can do the job, but mentally he's off.
Well, they're all off. I mean, he had a bad game, but he had a good game last time. And if it wasn't, Bailly today, it could have been Victor Lindelof. I mean, it's Brighton, it's Spurs. Spurs aren't that good of a squad. They're not a top 4 side. They won't finish in the Champions League this year. If they do, I'd be very surprised.
6-1.
I know they did, but this red card was a big deal, and then you get down a man and you have your center back give them the ball on the edge of the box, and they score a goal. And it's like, what you can't come back from that. Yeah, and then Bailly's confidence is shot all day. So yeah, he's gonna have a terrible game, and then nobody really we didn't play like we were fighting for the game.
No, it's over,
and that's why he pulled Matic and Bruno at halftime because he's like, I'll save their legs because I need them. They're gonna be valuable after the break.
Yeah. Excellent point. Thinking like Ole. 37th minute goal, Son. Another goal. Embarrassing tight angle. De Gea megged here. I don't think De Gea should be letting in on that angle. I'm not going to, of all the people we're going to criticize, not even going to go there with De Gea. Eric Bailly again. The defense just looks like, I don't know what Ole's doing as far as practicing defense goes, but we need to change. Jumping halftime, game's pretty much dusted. Second half, we had the double sub, Bruno and Matic off for Fred and McTominay. Like you said, I'm not sure how Fred and McTominay are going to make us come back. That's definitely sending a signal to the team a little bit, right? Game's kind of over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised of those two coming in for those two. But I guess Ole didn't like what he was seeing, and those are 2 of your star men. You got to protect them. I get it. The game's already lost.
51st minute goal, Aurier. 5 goals at Old Trafford. So remember, we're playing at home. 68th minute sub, Donny for Mason Greenwood. Donny looked sharp when he came on. Well, he looked like he might have gotten a goal. To me, he looks like he's a starter. Pogba, question marks on Paul P. Maybe he gets the drop. Donny comes in. Nobody should be safe at Manchester United. And then 77th minute, penalty to Spurs. That's 6 goals. Harry Kane nets her. That's all she wrote. Really tough match. I think we have probably like 75 texts on the thread from the Chelsea fans, the Everton fans. I'm not reading them today. I'll tell you. I'm taking a break.
Don't matter. I was just happy we didn't give up 7. We never conceded 7 goals. Didn't do it today. It was a brutal day.
I'm happy
brutal
we didn't
one.
concede
Like if you rewatch that 6-1 to City, it was brutal. But it was like this. It was a red, and then all of a sudden you lose the plot. The same thing. It's like you'll see the scoreline 6-1. Damning. Fans are going to be losing their nerve. I certainly have on this pod. But we have to keep our nerve because it's a long season, and it's not how you start, it's how you finish. We started like shit last year, and we finished in 3rd. Can they pull it together? It's going to be on Ole to do it. He's the man.
I think the one comment I had on our back line, you look at those players, you look at Lindelof, Bailly, Maguire, what is that, 140 million at the back? I mean, we spent the cash. We, obviously not all under Ole, with Mourinho as well, but you look at the money we've spent, and our defense is that bad. Why do you think is that? Are the players just not good enough? Are they not coached well enough? What is the issue with the defense? Why can't we have a consistent starting back duo that can get us through it? Lindelof, Maguire last year. Lindelof, tough start, but why is it so hard? They should be able to just jump in there, do a job.
I don't think it's that easy. I mean, I think you're...
Matic in front of them. Matic, Pogba.
Are you asking why?
I'm saying.
Well, you will answer your own question or ask me the question.
Just tell me.
I'm telling you is we started the season, we're not in good form. You're getting thrown into like a hyper competitive league. And I think the fact that like we didn't have a proper start to it has to be the excuse. Like this team is good, is decent. They're not the worst team in the league. Right? What are we, 16th right now? We're not the 16th best team in the league.
After watching last season, you knew defense was an issue. And it was probably.
And have they signed anyone? Have they signed anybody?
No, but I'm saying why, if we have spent, I'm sure they're looking at, like Ed Woodward's look at his sheet out. They've invested a lot of money in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. We have, look at our back four. You have De Gea and net. You got Matic and Pogba, those two in front of them.
Is that what City
Why
says?
are
Like,
the defense
we've spent all this money on defenders, so it's not. They bought 2 center backs this summer, and they bought so many center backs over the last 6-7 years. So it's like you just keep buying them because if you want to compete at the top of European football, you have to keep spending every year. So the fact that we got in the Champions League, and now they're not going to spend any money, bro. It's so obvious because they did the same thing to Jose Mourinho, and they're doing it to Ole.
No, but I'm asking you: are Bailly and Lindelof not good enough for Manchester United? Is that the issue, or do they need a more rest? What is the problem? Why isn't our defense? Why are we bad from set pieces? Why does our defense give up bad goals more so than any other team I've seen this season? Why are we so terrible at the back?
I mean, this season is one thing, but they're good players. They've played at United and done well enough. Last year, I mean, obviously, it wasn't Eric and Harry; it was Vic and Harry. They have it in them, dude. I just think like we got to get some mojo going. We got to get some games going. It was just like a shit day at the office. Those early goals. What do they do to your confidence? Nothing good. The fact that like 1 defender, 2 defender, 3 defender, 4, no one can clear the ball out of the box. It was
organization today. I mean, like I think we spent the money. I would question whether Victor or Bailly are good enough because to be every great Manchester United side has 2 commanding center backs. They're always fit, that are rock steady at the back, and they do a great job. And you build the team from there, especially in England. You look at what Van Dijk's done for Liverpool. We got the keeper. We have the midfield. We have the goals. We need to shore up the back. Sir, we're not well organized at the back. In my opinion, when it comes to the defense, my criticism goes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We have the value there. We have the players. They're healthy, and we're not well organized out the back. I think playing out the back looks shambles sometimes. I also think our organization, maybe it's Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Sometimes it's hard to know who to blame, but I would say there's a basic level of organization when it comes to defending at Manchester United that hasn't been there for the last year, I'm going to say.
Yeah, no doubt, but they haven't spent the money. That's absolutely not true. Because like anything spending less than 150 net is a crime at Manchester United this summer. Like,
yes,
it is.
It's underinvested, but I would agree that like if you look at certain managers of certain teams, they would be getting more organization out of the back from Manchester United. And maybe obviously Ole is a striker, but I just don't. There's something around defense that we're not playing well. We're not well organized coming out the back. We don't play it out the back in confidence. We look. There's a lot of things about the defending at Manchester United. The set piece goals we gave up last season. These kind of comical errors that we make. It's like something going on out of defense. We're not
focused,
organized,
dude. We're not focused. Like the Bailly goal, the first one. It was just like we're not concentrated. We're not tuned in. The other teams look like they're more up for it. We didn't have enough gumption all day. Even when we get out a man, you can't give up that early goal, bro. Because you're down a fucking man. You cannot give up like another goal to them. Just hand them a goal. It shoots your confidence, and everyone played like that. Like they had no chance. Like there was no chance in this game. As soon as we got the red card, it was over.
No, you're definitely right. But in the swing of the game, I would say that when we had the ball going forward, we weren't opening Tottenham up, creating a lot of chances. But when they countered, we looked like we were going to give up a goal almost every time. And we looked like that way against Brighton. A lot of the ball, not a lot of direct play. And then on the counter, we just looked absolutely toasted. Match reactions, Manchester United, Tottenham, we had 38% of the ball. They had 62%, 22 shots in our house, sir. We had 5 shots on target, 8-2. Absolutely shambolic for Manchester United. That's right. United suffered their joint heaviest defeat in the Premier League, losing by 5 goals, the 4th time in the competition for the first time since October 2011 against Manchester City. I remember that day. I remember exactly where we were watching that game. Why always me, sir? Manchester United have lost their first 2 home games of a league campaign for just the 5th time in club's history, with 1986-87 being the previous occasion they suffered 2 defeats from 2 at Old Trafford. Absolutely embarrassing. And Manchester United conceded 6 goals in a single Premier League game, only for the 3rd time, with each coming in October 1996 for Southampton, Man City, and against Spurs today. Spurs boss Jose Mourinho picked up his first away league victory against a team he previously managed in the Premier League. He was previously had only drawn 1 and lost 4, so Mourinho hits back at Ole. Ole's been having a laugh at Mourinho for a while.
No.
And
he's pipping back at him.
Because he's rubbed the top of his head. He's been chirping him.
He beat him, dude. Because he's doing it back to him. Because Mourinho chirps more than anybody else in the game, bro.
Mourinho didn't clap back at Ole today. Bruno Fernandes has scored all 10 of his penalties he has taken for Manchester United. Unbelievable. Today's spot kick was the earliest penalty goal in Premier League match. 1 minute and 37 seconds in since Sergio Aguero against Newcastle in February 2015. That was 1 minute and 12 seconds, sir. Surely Ole is going to make us feel better about this match. Let's hear what the manager has to say.
Ollie, we just spoke to Luke Shaw. He said at times that was sloppy, embarrassing, and nowhere near good enough. Do you concur?
Of course. It's after 2-1, when we're still in the game, after the red card, and everything after that is all that. It's for even quite a few things before then as well. But then you don't win games of football making individual mistakes, errors, or making a performance like that.
Just how alarming was that performance for you and the record equaling defeat?
Well, of course, when it's when we get the start we did, you think, we got the game where we won it, and then you make a few bad decisions and you're suddenly 2-3-1 down, and then it's alarming. It's nowhere near good enough. Hold my hand up. It's my decision to pick the team I did, and we also as a squad that's not good enough for Man United.
Obviously,
some of the passing is fucking scratchy.
Who do you think would be nicer to the boys in the locker room after a 6-1 defeat? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Sir Alex?
It depends. Depending on how Sir Alex wanted to play it. Mind games, not saying anything, lay into them. That today was so bad that they should just be embarrassed for themselves, because it's you lose that bad at Old Trafford. Thank goodness there were no fans there. I mean, last time we lost 6-1 at Old Trafford, there were fans there. They didn't enjoy it. But today, I have to imagine we would have played better if it was in front of a packed OT.
Sir.
No excuses. Excuse Factory. So they got running overtime all weekend,
Chief Executive Officer, Excuse Factory. Sir, let's check in with Ty Kircher, bringing in his hot take here for the pod. What do you think?
This was the worst thing I've ever seen since I started following this club. They looked like they could not have cared any less to be out there. They gave up on us today, and that is a big indictment on a club when they can't be bothered to even try, to even run, to see it out. I'm embarrassed by this club. I'm embarrassed that I support them today. It's disgusting. Fire fucking everyone.
All right, look, Ty, coming in hot. Really appreciate the hot take. If you have one, email us after the match, americanreddevils@gmail.com. We will play it if it's good. Sir, he brought the hot banter. Absolutely embarrassing. What do you make of that?
I think he speaks for how fans are feeling. No one's feeling happy, and it's going to be a long couple of weeks, hearing about what everyone around us is doing, how much they're spending, how much our manager is bottling it, but we got to stick together. It's always darkest before the dawn. There's a lot of games left, and we cannot lose our composure. No Tony Martial for 3 games. Hey, you got Cavani coming in. He's going to be banging them in. How many goals is Cavani scoring, bro?
I'll tell you what, today...
How many goals is he scoring this season?
Look, if you listen to this podcast, if you know us, it's we're coming in hot today. We literally watched that game. We shut it off. We're all right. Time to talk. We try not to discuss too much during the match. You and me do banter back and forth. We're fans. We're emotional. We have that hot take, sir. And we just jump on this pod. We hit record and we just lay it out, sir.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
We do it live. That's why you hear the passion. Sometimes we get at each other. The defenders, Cavani, everything in between, sir. But that's what American Red Devils is for. So if you have a fan take, bring it in. We're for fans, by fans. We want to be holding this terrible ownership accountable. Then we want to hold the players accountable. We want to cheer on this team, and they should be playing a lot better. Part of the issue is you get the red card. All right, you're going to lose. You don't need to lose 6-1.
Right.
People are pissed.
The Spurs.
Pissed. People on Twitter are pissed. There's a certain pride thing about this jersey, at least that it gives me, that if you're on that pitch, and even if you're down a man, so you bite down that mouthpiece, you fight. That's what Manchester United is all about. You try to pull a goal back here and there. You don't give up. And what I saw on that pitch, I saw a team that gave up, and I look at Ole, and I see he looks dejected in the interview. And Manchester United is the whole point. Never say die. The fans at Manchester United, why this club is better than any club. And you can let the Chelsea fans talk smack all you want. The reason why this club's better is if that was at Old Trafford, the fans would clap that team off the pitch, sir. They do it. There's class about this. If you're a fan of this team, it's like you clap those players off the pitch. They know they should do better. The fans don't need to boo. We don't whistle. We're not Real Madrid. We're not these plastic clubs, man. Shitty can't even fill the stadium. We're Manchester fucking United, sir. We back this team no matter what, and we're going to support them when they next run out. And look, 2 weeks, we expect a better performance, and they should learn from this. I'm not going to say the sky's falling just yet. It was a tough game, but, there's always a next match, like we always say.
Just like you haven't won the league on October 3rd. What's today? October 4th. You haven't lost it either. And it's like, let's not go nuts. Let's keep our composure and not go nuts, because it's easy to go nuts. You could, but you said it. We were fucking around before the pod. It's a great time to lose big. If you needed a wake-up call, we've had it before, right? Going into international breaks, either the big loss or a big win. Sometimes it takes a loss to wake you up. We could also take a big transfer. I think if they just plunked full money for Sancho right now, it would add some wind underneath our wings. Even though we don't need really an attacker, it just it shows you believe in the manager, not being like, hey, this Cavani guy, I heard he's pretty good.
Look, this team is improving as far as you look at the players and the team sheet, right? The performances haven't been there, but I do think that we're adding over time and we're headed in the right direction. I think a lot of fans would look at the squad and say, now, are we doing it as fast as we want? No. We want to finish third, and then we want to invest $250 million and then go kick on and win a title. Look, if it takes another 3 years to get to that level because of coronavirus, and the Glazers just want those dividends, that's the ownership. So hashtag Glazers out. Get your scarves. I don't buy things from ManchesterUnited.com. It's just not a thing I do anymore. I don't support them financially. You look at the financials. The jig is up. There's things about this club that as fans, I enjoy sitting on the couch and cheering on this team more than anything, sir. So that's never going away. I'm always going to support the players, but we should just be smarter as fans. Protest the ownership, sir. Stop purchasing the stuff. The jerseys from Manchester United. I've stopped a long time ago.
And we have to give Ole time. I hate to say it. I'm going to be talking because I know, no, everyone wants his head. But you have to, because otherwise it's just going to be rinse and repeat. This shit's going to never change, and we need to just give a manager time, because otherwise, if he had lost your head, we would have sacked Fergie in his reign. I think he finished 12th first season. You have to remember, I know it's a different team and a different Premier League.
It's a different era. But
of course it was. But we have to not lose our head, because shit's going to get rough, and we need to just weather the storm. Remember, we're Manchester United, and there's going to be always more games to play.
As far as the manager, sir, I understand. There's no reason for us to say, hey, does Ole have the guys playing as best they can? No. Can Ole do that? Time will tell. So the whole point is no, you don't say Ole out, because you would be a muppet if you did it. Maybe some people are convinced of it by now. Look, his CV isn't there. I'm not going to defend him, but you got to give him time. Look, I'm going to look at the EPL table after the 1st of January, and I'm going to say, if we're in 13th, maybe we need another manager. Who is going to defend him if we're that? Clearly the board has impacted him. Clearly we haven't gotten certain players, but this crew of players should be doing better than we are. So you have to kind of try to slow your roll a little bit. You can't overreact, especially on the manager. He needs time, but at the end of the day, you don't finish in the top 4, or you're not in semifinals, finals, and cups. It's going to be a hard argument at the end of the year for Ole, and he's got to turn this around.
He does. And like I said, if it's Jan 1 and we're 13th and I'm defending Ole, that's one thing. But right now, it's give the man time. It is early in a new season. He did well last season, all things considered. And we need to back the manager, because we need to stick together. United fans need to stick together, because otherwise, out in the wild, it's all the wolves. It's literally, we picked up pieces. Everyone spent 150, 200 million. United's like, we got Cavani.
No, this is a moment in the club's history. Yep. This is one that, you look at that 6-1 City victory, that was a moment. That was literally it was all banter. City ain't nothing, and they smacked us in our house, 6-1. Why always me? And that's a game. I remember where I was. Yeah. I remember that game. I remember how I felt about that game, sir. I remember just sitting on the deck after that one, just kind of looking at the sky and just being City are for real for the next couple of years. They're going to be someone we need to think about. And that was a big turning of the tide. This is probably another one of those where you look at, okay, we didn't have a good window. The Glazers out. Our ownership's really sucking the money out. It's starting to hurt the development of this team. Really, everyone can see it. And it's going to be one of those moments you remember, 6-1 Spurs. Wow, this is the turning of the tide in another direction. And hopefully it's for the positive, sir.
Well, here's the difference, bro. Because remember that 2011, I'm almost sure the center back pairing was Chris Smalling and Phil Jones, and we got smoked, bro. And the difference is City would have gone out and just bought center backs, and those guys were our center backs for another 5 years. And that's the difference is like if the center back isn't good enough, you got to upgrade the center back. And you got to be buying players all the time. And like the fact that like all the money is going to South Florida. So like an American family can just like take cash off the top. We're not going to be able to invest. We're not going to be able to compete because all the money's going off the back door, bro.
No, because I agree. But there's the timing of this is like, we always say it, the football and gods, the 6-1 transfer window closed tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, I think, 6 p.m. Eastern. Then you got the domestic for 2 weeks, and then that is through October 16th. And so when you see the extra domestic window, Tarkowski, Burnley, he's an option. Look, we could take this defeat, and then they can make a deal to get a center back out of the Championship, out of English Premier League. This could be something that could make the Glazers say, uh-oh. I don't know if there's enough security in Manchester to protect Ed Woodward's house at this point. Like, we need to get our defense sorted. If this is where we get it sorted, then we kick on from there. Sir, we've seen it before. These big matches, it's a big moment. The board's having a call. They're releasing the financials, sir. It's going to be, there's a lot going on at Manchester United at the moment. And, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Ed Woodward's literally selling his house. They're getting him extra security. I bet he doesn't even live in Manchester anymore. He just goes down to London, comes up for the game. It's like, because he's not safe there. Because he's like, don't get me started.
No, but look, you can, looking back on the 6-1, you might be thinking differently. But if we lose 6-1, they don't buy defenders, and we're just completely and we're in 13th in January, then yeah, like F, like
to blame
my life. I like that's the quote right there. But I hope this is something where there could be a move that could be made. This could wake the team up. This could wake the board up a little bit. We shall see. We shall see.
I mean, just if there are, what's it called? Clauses that can be pulled for center backs that are rated amongst Europe, I would do it now. Wait on Sancho.
Sir, I'm going to just cheer you up a little bit here. Everyone in the American Red Devils pod here. Sir, we have Champions League football, sir. I'm just letting you know, like, if you just take a moment. Everyone relax. Sir, the Champions League draw was this week. We had got the old PSG trolls in the Group H, Red Bull, Leipzig, and then we had Istanbul, Başakşehir. I'm dying. I got to learn how. I haven't even listened to that word, so I'm doing my best here. We're back in the Champions League, so we're melting down as much as we want. But we're back in Champions League football.
The Angels are singing on Sunday. I know I needed to go to church. I got the choir. Sounds amazing. It's true. It could be worse. You could be playing in Uzbekistan. Those long flights, sir. They're pretty long.
Look, and our first game, PSG. October 20th, sir.
Who's your center back?
This month, then we play Red Bull Leipzig the 28th. Istanbul, we play November 4th. Then we play Istanbul again, 24th. Paris, December 2nd. Red Bull Leipzig, December 8th. The group, a tough draw, but you have to remember that, there is something to look forward to this season. We got a lot of football to be played. We're playing Champions League. We're Spurs, they're going to Uzbekistan. Look, if I couldn't do it. We'd have to be like, the pod is not covering Europa League this year. We're in Champions League. That's one thing to look forward to. I'm pumped. That's a positive here.
No Thursday football, and that was no fun. I hated that. Everyone else playing on Tuesday and Wednesday, and you're waiting for Thursday, waiting for those Thursday 10 a.m. kickoff times.
What do you feel about the group? What do you tough draw, bad draw? What do you think?
It's a tough draw. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's a group of death, but iron sharpens iron, and this team wants to be worth anything. It's like you're going to have to prove your mettle, and I think this team's good enough. You would think to squeak by RB. PSG take the group. We finished second.
So there was a time when we were semifinal, final. just semifinal, final. Like, well, how we win it every year. Now we're like, get out of the group. Maybe. So
Maybe.
Look, let's keep our expectations a little low. You know, the footballing guys are always listening, but PSG, I like that. I like to go against them. I hate Di Maria. I think there's always a little extra grit between these sides. I like the story. We beat them in Paris. They did lose in the final. Rebel Leipzig, they made it to the semifinal. Young coach coming up.
Good team.
He's been linked with the both the director of football and the coach at Rebel Leipzig have been linked to Manchester United in some fashion over the last year. And then obviously Istanbul. We have Raphael, who plays for them, sir. So there's a storyline there. A great group. You get the music, under the lights, European nights. And, you know, we got to step up to the table because we should be competing with the PSGs of the world. The Manchester United should not be worried about PSG. Who, you know, you think about it.
I tell you what, it's not LASK, so we got to get ready. Got to step our game up. I like this rivalry with PSG because that team, banter club. You meet their fans. Oh my God, you think Chelsea fans are bad? It's like the Chelsea fans of France.
They make Chelsea fans
look cool. They make them look like tough guys.
No, we went to the away. What was it? At home first leg PSG, and the PSG fans. We're talking like the furry hoods
and velour, like, Gucci jumpsuits,
Gucci suitcases, like complete, just like the softest fans in the world. You know, and obviously they did get us that night. But it made me obviously hate PSG fans, so I'm glad we can line up again, sir. We've delayed it a little bit. Let's get into the Muppetry, sir. We got United in the news, transfer news, 24 hours left in the window, international window. Manchester United
leaving it late, as usual.
Absolutely leaving it late, but we can start it off with a outgoing Diogo Dalot on loan to AC Milan. Our friend Freddie, big AC fan, texted us early this morning about Dalot. He is going to be, it's done. Basically, he's going on loan. I think that's the right move for him. Dalot could work on his defending in Italy. I mean, Italians are known to defend. Maybe we can send Aaron Maguire, Lindelof, and Bailly out there. Get a little training.
They might need it. It's a good move. I'm glad we didn't sell him. I do think, you don't want to be selling youngsters that have the potential that Dalot does. This will allow him to get some minutes, play in the big, tough Italian league, which is a good tune-up for the Premier League. So I'm all about this move. I don't know if there's an option to buy, but I think we want him to come back and see what he's made of because I like loaning him.
Yeah, I did not see the details of the contract before the pod. Those have not leaked out yet, but I believe it's just a straight loan deal. I did not see option to buy. Next bit of news, sir. You've already yelled about it. You called me this morning. You said you had a terrible night's sleep. You're worried about it. You're angry. You're frustrated. Edison Cavani has agreed to join Manchester United. I do not have the take that you have. Give the fans your hot take. You hate this deal. You don't like Cavani. Tell me what you think.
I mean, I got no problem with Edison Cavani. It's just like I've seen this movie before. Shame on you, Eddie Woodward. Like, come on, dude. We spent all summer trying to get rid of another South American with an ego problem, with an attitude problem, on huge wages that's a bust, and then you bring on another one. It just doesn't make any sense, dude. And you tweeted it really well. It's like, if they wanted Cavani, they would have signed him in July.
Yeah, no,
day before the window, it's panic.
Look, I actually think Cavani a year ago, January, when we were thinking Igalu, that was the time to do Cavani, right? In my opinion. Now you did Igalu. Now you're doing Cavani, two aging strikers. Cavani turns 34 in February. He has an atrocious injury record. I rate him. He looks tough as nails. He might be able to galvanize the locker room like people are saying Zlatan did. I don't mind taking a punt on Cavani, but let's remember the business side of things at Manchester United. Look, I went through the financials. I said we don't have a lot of upfront cash to splash. So we talked about that in July when I wrote the article about Jadon Sancho and Champions League qualification, how Manchester United are in a cash crunch. And they would be looking at deals with no upfront fees and wages. I thought Willian was like the deal to do. Honestly, you need a right winger. Sancho costs over $100 million. Don't do that deal. You get Willian in and you pay him high wages. An aging guy, you pay him high wages. But why didn't you do it with Jose Mourinho? So the issue I have is Ed Woodward said we're not doing this old guy overpay him thing. We're going to do the Haaland, Bellingham, Sancho thing, and then we've muffed on all three of those, and it leads to sort of getting Cavani late. If you got a center back, if you got a left back, and you sign Jadon Sancho, and then you bring in Cavani, I'm not that concerned. I actually like the punt because we need goals. There's a lot of competitions. Dude, he does it in the Champions League. He's a towering guy. I don't mind the deal, but we need to strengthen where we most need it.
If this was the 6th signing of the summer, I would have no problem with it. If it was like, I already signed Donny Van de Beek, a center back, a left back, a right winger, maybe it's not Sancho, and then I signed Cavani. It's just that dude, Willian makes more sense. If you wanted another player that's like an option who's Premier League proven and younger, it's like it makes no sense, dude. It's like he had a big agent fee, he's got a big wage, nobody wanted him, and United came like it's an Eddie Woody special, dude. That's the problem. Maybe he'll turn out well, but it's just like I've seen this movie. We've gotten fleeced by so many clubs and so many agents. This is another one of those, dude. Falcao. I got burned by Falcao. I got burned so bad.
Okay.
Falcao,
Sir.
Sanchez, Schweinsteiger. It's just like they're not the smart money. It's just like the clubs that know what they're doing aren't making these deals, dude. Zlatan worked, and it just did. It was like the right time, the right place. We need a leadership. Does Cavani speak English?
I don't know. I couldn't, but that doesn't matter.
Does it?
So here's the deal. Like similar to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm not going to judge Cavani until I see him play a few games for Manchester United. And I don't think anyone else should either. The only person you need to judge is Ed Woodward and co., who's basically letting the market dictate who we sign at Manchester United when we should be looking like a director of football would and look at our squad and be like, well, who's going to cross the ball to Cavani from the right wing? Because we don't have a right winger. We have Greenwood. He's a number 9. We have Dan James. He can't cross. And Cavani needs service if he's going to score. If you watch PSG, they have a few wingers, sir. They got Neymar. They got Di Maria. They're putting in great service to Edson Cavani. So the whole idea is the director of football would say, you don't sign Cavani if you don't have the right winger who can put in a ball. And that is where Manchester United have got it wrong. And they're letting the market and the cash balance on the balance sheet dictate how they're doing business, sir. No upfront free. It's right in their wheelhouse. Manchester United spending pretty much no money. And we're going to get to the Alex Telles deal, sir. You want to kill Cavani?
I want to put a knife in this one because it's not even that we're letting the market dictate. We're letting Ed Woodward dictate. He's feeding chum to the chumps. It's just us because it's like he needs a name. We got Cavani because we were not going to get Sancho.
Sir,
and
people like Cavani on Twitter. People love Cavani.
He's 33, dude. It's like it makes no sense with what we're trying to do. Young, talented people.
You're attacking the man.
We have a Gallo already. He's a nice guy. I got no problem with Cavani.
No, sir,
I'm not making fun of him because he doesn't speak English. We have an English dude. Greenwood doesn't speak French.
Sir, you just slapped
Rashford
Cavani
doesn't
in the
speak
face
French
like Martial did to Lamela. You're going hard in on Cavani.
How many times
and it doesn't matter.
We've been burned. I've been burned, baby. I just like it hurts. It hurts.
But the whole idea is I'm not going to make up my mind about Edison Cavani until he plays for Manchester United. You can't. So the idea is like, does this deal fit this team and the direction we're headed? The answer is no.
No, it doesn't. That's why I'm mad.
Cavani could come in and look good. He could even look good, not score goals, and just not be getting service. It's a whole nother question. And then you have Martial, Rashford playing on the left. So, there's a lot of playing time to go around. But, Cavani, yeah.
We got a Gallo. I just don't get it. We sold Lukaku. What the hell's going on, sir?
No one knows.
I
said round and round we go. Who we sign, nobody knows. Ed Woodward playing.
He doesn't even know, dude. He doesn't even know.
He's playing FIFA, sir. He's playing FIFA. Well, tell us about Telles. Fabrizio Romano, quote, Manchester United and Porto have reached an agreement for Alex Telles. Last deal details to be sorted in the next few hours. And then Medical's official announcement. Here we go soon. So he basically announced Cavani and Telles both joining Manchester United. You got Van de Beek, you got Cavani, you got Telles, sir. Grade the window.
There you go, bro. It's like, what we got? We got Falcao and Blind at the end of the window. Remember that? Louis van Gaal hanging with those.
Blind's a player, though.
Yeah, he is a player. We sold him. So who do I sign? I signed Cavani. I signed Telles
and Van de Beek. Grade the window.
It's a D. It's a D. We need a center back. We need a center back. We needed a right winger. We got no right winger, and I got a 33-year-old striker. That's like a D, dude.
Yeah, I would say it's a C minus. I'm surprised we got 3 bodies in. I think 3 bodies to refresh this team is good, but you can't watch Manchester United and not see on the right wing we're dying, right? Greenwood should be the 9 coming off the bench for Martial when he kind of has a lazy game, inject pace into the team, playing in cup matches. He's not necessarily a true right winger. And we need width, we need service, we need balance in the side. We don't have that. Telles left back, we definitely need cover there. I agree with that signing. I think that's good. Van de Beek, another great signing if you had short up the defense, which we didn't do.
Or got a winger.
Yeah, so if we got a right winger, a center back, Cavani, Telles, and Van de Beek, that's B plus A minus territory for me, depending on who the center back or right winger was. But apparently we were in for Gabriel, who ended up going to Arsenal, and we didn't pay up.
We didn't pay up. We didn't pay up with Haaland. How good does he look? Holy crap.
That's the one that...
Haaland's the one. You get Cavani and you miss Haaland. Come on, dude.
No, The Erling Haaland deal, and they should write stories. They'll sing songs about this one. Not signing Haaland was that is the one that got away. If we signed Haaland, we probably could compete for the title. He is that good of a player. If you watch Dortmund, they're playing so well. It's just we had to put up with some more agent nonsense. Apparently, we had fatigue from that with the Sanchez deal, but we should have just paid up and got Erling Haaland. The Norwegian Connect, that's when you give Ole his player. We'd be a better side for it. And then you bring in Sancho, and it's an absolute joke. We're the best team in the league. And that was the crime last January, not getting Erling Haaland done. I think that one, we'll never live that down, sir. We'll never live that deal down.
Because we'll never be able to get him again. We'll never be able to afford him because he's going to go to Real Madrid in a year or two for like big money. And we can barely get a Sancho done who wants to come to us. He's angling for a move actively, and we can't even get it done. But tell us, I do like Tellus. He can put a cross in, so that's good. Like they thought, hey, nobody on our team can cross. He actually is a pretty decent crosser. He's a good left back. He's Brazilian. He's got some nice spice. I like this deal. They paid what they asked to pay. They said 18 million pounds is the fee. They said, here's 12, here's 12, here's 12, and we paid 18. There you go. You got a deal.
Well, it's coming down the last day. You got to get it done, and especially after watching that game, you got to get it done. Some other business here for Manchester United. Signing 2 teenagers from Uruguay, Facundo Palestre and Willy Cambala, before they're going to get these deals done. Palestre is 18. Will finalize a $10 million move from Penarol. He's a hot tip from former United forward Diego Forlan. United will also pay $3 million to get Cambala. The 2 youngsters will not be ready for the first team, but Ole is desperate for both to kind of have successful careers at Manchester United, because I like this buying youth, center back, a winger as well, buying young. It's cheap. It's the move. I like this deal. More bodies in Old Trafford, especially on the right wing and at center back.
I'll tell you what, sir. If we were making moves in the first team like we are in the U23 teams, we'd be like the best team in Europe, bro. We're buying like the best and brightest. We're going to be ready to go in 5 years. We're going to have the best squad in Europe because, honestly, they're doing this right. They're buying every 16, 17, 18-year-old in Europe that played at a really good academy that's out of their contract and they can offer good money. And I think they are doing it. They've gotten a lot of good buys this summer. A striker from Sunderland. We just picked up a striker from City. They got the left back and right back from Real Madrid and Barcelona, respectively. So they are doing this right. It's just that you can't just do this. We need some big buys up top as well.
Yeah, and we talked about this when we were on the couch. It's like, what is the one thing United have gotten right, and why do I feel like the team is getting better, headed in the right direction? It's the youth coming through the team has been so great. It's some of those purchases at center back. We haven't produced a lot of defenders out of the academy, but going forward, the goals are almost spoken for. So you could say United doing the right thing. Like you said, U23s, getting youngsters, hot prospects in, that will come good. That will always come good, but you need to supplement with quality buys. That's why you need a director of football. Not only do you have to manage the academy coming up, all the contracts in the first team, you got to be able to see these weaknesses, plug holes, get bodies out. Like Chris Smalling, is he going to be a United player? The window ends in 24 hours. We're talking on the pod. Like Chris Smalling might just be like back in the squad.
Just like next week against Newcastle.
But imagine Ole has said, Ed Woodward, I don't want Smalling in the squad. I want him to be sold. Ed Woodward not doing it might just shove Chris Smalling back in the team. And look, he might do well. From what I've heard in Italy, he's doing well. It might be a punt. It's better than nothing, right? If we kept Chris Smalling, didn't sign a center back, it's better than just another body.
I'd rather take Smalling than no center back, than no signing. Exactly, might as well. It's like, I don't think we are, because I think we just sold him to Roma in financing the Tellus deal. But I agree with you. So
we need
bodies.
No, and we're going to finish the United in the News segment here. Ed Woodward, he's in the news. Basically, he's ramping up his security in the case there's rioting outside of his house about how miserable of a transfer window this is. Not only this, I think it's going to be the drop in the finances in combination with having a bad window. If you listen to the American Red Devils podcast, you might think we're just two Muppets on the side of the couch, sir.
Fact.
But we are. But I did go through the financials, and I did say we are broke. We were really hurting financially. That's not because of Corona. It's because they left no cash on the balance sheet. They've been taking money out. They've been very irresponsible with this club. And unfortunately for fans, it means the Glazers are going to stick around longer because they have to weather the storm to sell for that high price that they want. Each Glazer kid has probably $500 million in stock in this club. And so we're not going to see it sold until we kind of come out of this coronavirus thing. They have a lot of exposure, commercial real estate, as well as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're hurting on all fronts. They're not going to sell low, sir. The Glazers are going to sell high, and we're going to be in it for a little while with them. It's really unfortunate. But fans can't keep your eye off the ball. You have to be focused on the Glazers. And Ed Woodward, he's the front man. He's the one to blame for, like you say, why are we signing Cavani? Why are we signing Van de Beek without getting a defender? It's because Ed Woodward knows nothing. He's an investment banker. He doesn't know how to run the footballing side of the biggest club in world football.
Sir, we're two former investment bankers. We know enough that you hire someone who knows what they're doing. That's what smart people do. They hire people that are experts in their jobs. And the fact that Ed Woodward is still in charge of football and operations decides, you know what? We need a Cavani. You think Ole asked for Cavani? I don't think so.
I know what it's like, sir. You got all these old English scouts from Sir Alex days who are still there on the payroll. They communicate to Ole. Ole then talks to the two chumps, Woodward and Judge. They probably barely answer their phones. They're terrible. It's the whole thing. It should be a 30-person team. Data, analytics, looking at stats, every single league. It's just the way it's run. You just know it's a shambles. It's literally Ed and his cell phone.
Do people say you can't get through to them for months at a time? You have agents reaching out that want to be hey, you want our player? And they don't answer the phone.
Yeah, what I imagine you would need would be you need to spend tons of money. You need a huge team to run all the data worldwide on all footballing prospects, sir, including yourself and me. We should be in the database. Sir, if they sign Cavani 34, you're saying there's a chance.
No, there's no chance.
He's 33, but he's turning 34 soon. So, look, Neville came out. He said the Sancho thing is embarrassing. He blasts Manchester United's transfer strategy for making Solskjaer's job impossible. Gary Neville speaking out. Patrice Evra speaking out. A lot of United players in the media speaking out. And this is how insane, Ed Woodward is they're pushing back against Gary Neville talking out against not citing Jadon Sancho. And the one thing I have with the club is there has to be some baseline communication. It's you can't have these Manchester United legends just completely saying the club is run terribly. And then instead of looking yourself in the mirror and thinking about, oh, well, we could do a better job here, they actually attack the United legends who say that we're doing bad things in the transfer window. Because at the end of the day, they're stealing money from the fans, and that's why you don't have any money to spend. So he's allowed to say they should have signed Sancho. He's our number one target. You got to get it done. You're the biggest club in world football.
Well, they're calling a crook, and crooks don't like being called crooks. And that's the end of the day. They've, Woodward, the Glazers, we've shown a lot of our legends a really not so nice exit of this historic club. They're still doing it, dude. They have no respect for the club. They have no respect for the former players. Woodward's got no respect for Fergie, even though Fergie saved their asses. The fact that Glazers didn't invest shit under Fergie is a crime. He would have won so much more. It's talked about very little, but let's hear what Evra has to say, sir.
Yeah, so Evra on Sky Sports, but this is before the match, talking about the transfer window. He looks absolutely he can't hide it. Just when we do the pod, we can't hide it. Him and Graham Souness talk about what Manchester United need at the moment in this window.
We don't need to buy 5, 7, 10 players to build a team, but at least your main target. Our main target was the Sancho saga, and it was embarrassing. We don't even get him. So no, if we start using the coronavirus as an excuse, I will let Graham destroy me. And
no, not at all. I thought we were mates. I'm not going to go down that.
Yes,
not yet. A couple of hand grenades. Do you think they needed Donny van de Beek?
I don't think they need him to win the league.
No, I think that where they're going to play him. When you look at the makeup of that midfield, it's really interesting going forward. They've got 3 number 10s, haven't they? Really, Donny van de Beek, Paul Pogba, Fernandes.
I think there are other priorities in that team.
Yeah, I think it's he's available. Let's get him instead of trying to strengthen your weakest area.
Which would be what?
For me,
the defense.
I think a centre back. I'm a great believer. Fullbacks can make mistakes. Generally, a centre back can get over him. Maybe get him out of a hole. Centre back makes a mistake, at least a shot at your goal. I think they've addressed the goalkeeper. I think maybe Henderson might find himself as number 1. I was a big fan of De Gea for about 5 years. He kept winning the Matt Busby Trophy, best player at the club. And then for the last 2 years, very different. So I think they've addressed the goalkeeper. I think a centre back is paramount.
Maybe a left back.
The left back has been since I left, so
I've been waiting a while.
I think 12 left back I played my position.
There's no forward thinking. This is where we're going to go. This is where we are in 6 months. I heard Gary talk to us a year ago. We're not going down that route of signing old players anymore. What are they going to do? They're going to bring the guy from China, who I don't think gets quoted anymore. And then they're on about signing Cavani, if that's true. So, I mean, where is the direction?
We don't
is
have
there any
any
football
structure.
people?
We don't have any
Is there any
structure.
football making the big decisions there, or advising the board on what direction it should be going in? That's a genuine question. I don't know the answer.
I think you've
It's not
raised that
loaded.
question yourself, haven't you, Patrice? But we might be talking about a successful Manchester United win today against Spurs.
That's what I wish. That's what I wish.
But that,
So that's
hold on,
gonna
what will
come
that
up
be?
later. They knew about four games.
just to be clear, this is before the game.
They knew.
This is like they're talking about our defensive issues before the game, where we need to strengthen this side. It's not like this is a surprise. It's not like we go into this Spurs game and we say Son's going to smoke us on the counter if we don't have our center backs aren't switched on. And the best thing he says is, are there footballing people making decisions at Manchester United? That is the question everyone's asking. And when Graham Souness makes sense, it's a tough day.
It's a dark day. He was making a lot of sense. They're right. It's like, that's why I was so upset about Cavani. I had nothing personal against Edison Cavani. It's just that, like, this club, obviously, Ole has shown he doesn't want to go that route. Woodward still goes that route because it's the easy, cheap route. It's like, I'm going to buy this player because he's available. Huge wages, huge agent fee. Dude, we've seen it before. You shouldn't do it. And it's just like, we're going to have to worry about, maybe he'll score a goal, bro. But what's the guess? I think 6 goals. Falcao scored 4. Sanchez scored 5. I think he'll score 6 his whole career, bro. He'll be like $1.5 million
Sir,
a
I'm
goal.
I'm gonna cheer him on.
I'm cheering him on, but
is he Oberton or Zlatan? You say
Oberton. Oh yeah.
I think look, everyone out there, Cavani he's a Zlatan. He's gonna be a Zlatan. There you go.
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Some positivity here at the American Red Devils. Tough day. We're jumping in fan questions. Twitter coming in hot.
Woo!
At Dave Paz on Twitter, quote, absolutely devastated. I feel sick. Poor Ole has been screwed by the incompetent arseholes above him. Great way to say it, Dave. What do you make of that, sir?
He has been screwed. I think everybody who's been paying attention knows it, but performance like that, there's going to be a lot of heat on Ole's head. He's got to bring it back together. We have an international break. Let's close this window. I hate these windows. I'm sick of transfer windows because we're so bad at transfers now that, like, I can't deal with windows anymore. Let's close it.
Yeah.
Let's kick on. And this team is still solid. You're right, sir. Let's be positive. There's a lot of good things here. Our center backs are not. We were 3rd best defense in the league, dude. It's like, okay, I know they've been like shit to start the season, but we're going to get better. We have to play better. We know we can play better. Let's not lose our heads.
Spurs are who we thought they were, sir. At Burkett Mets, quote, no Martial for Newcastle, Chelsea, and Arsenal. Thanks for reminding us. That is absolutely terrible, but we got Cavani.
He's going to be banging them in. He's going to be banging them in.
Cavani. Like,
yeah, right, dude.
You're up, bro. Like, honestly, you're up. Look, it'd be interesting to see. The thing is, I'm not going to... Like Memphis Depay.
Big Cavani guy. This guy's a big Cavani guy.
I saw Memphis Depay. He's kind of like, he had a little too much bling, a little too flashy, and he scored. He thought he was the man coming out of, the Rivadese. But, I could see that coming from my way. Cavani, he's a veteran. He's going to want the challenge. He's going to want to do well, sir. You see him play. He plays a lot of passion. You can't question that. So I think Cavani could come in. He could galvanize the team, and... He's an intimidating guy. It looks like I wouldn't want to fight him at a bar. It looks like Lindelof. I'd like eat his lunch.
I mean, the thing. Okay, let's be positive. Let's put a positive spin on it. He is going to be our player very, very shortly, wearing red. People have said very good things about his attitude. They've said he's a good leader. But I'm just saying, is like we do need leadership. If he can fill that Zlatan role, rub a couple things on Rashford. Excuse factory, man. This excuse factory is going.
It seems like you're changing your mind about Cavani.
I'm just trying. No, I'm not changing my mind. I'm just trying to be positive.
Trying. We'll see.
Trying. 6 goals, I'm guessing. His whole career.
It's a results-based business.
It is.
For Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for Ed Woodward, it's a results-based game. And I have no idea how Ed Woodward's kept his job.
It's amazing.
That to me is the one thing where you got to question it. You absolutely got to question it. At you Bosun on Twitter, quote, I'm expecting some serious pod therapy. Maybe discuss different things and ideas. Ted Lasso show, restaurants or wineries in Northern California, or fatherhood. This is the least hopeful I've been for our club. We expected a rough season, but this is beyond my worst fears. Look, for a start, beyond the worst fears. I could not have seen us playing this bad to start the season. Again, a tight turnaround. I don't know, like whatever Ole decided to do, maybe give them space, give them time. That didn't work. Maybe we need like Roy Keane in there yelling at him all day. I don't know what it is, but something we took our eye off the ball. We finished 3rd. Everyone went on holiday, got Rona. fighting around the world, and then now we're back and we're not ready for it. We're not ready for the test.
There's plenty of season left. That's all I got to say is you want positivity? Here's the positivity. We have everything left to play for. And every time our backs have been held against the wall and we've got big opponents to play, we've stepped up. And now we got to step up against the big teams because October is a fucking gauntlet, dude. It is a gauntlet between Europe and domestic teams that weren't even big teams. Everton is going to be a big
international
game.
break. We need everyone.
This is positivity. This is positivity. The positivity is that we have everything left to say.
It sounds like negativity.
It's not negativity. What I'm saying is
we've got gauntlet.
It is a gauntlet.
We're gonna die.
I think United's going to step up because this team has shown when they get pushed to the wall that they fight back. They're going to show some fight. We're going to make a couple additions. We're going to bring in Edison. We're going to bring in Alex Telles. Maybe we'll bring in a center back. It might be the smart move. A right winger from Uruguay you've never heard of. Why not him too? But there's a lot of goodness here. We have the really good front three. We've got some great players. Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Donny van de Beek looked a class player when he came on. He's got a lot to show. Future's bright. Future's bright.
This is the denial phase.
Yes, exactly.
Of grief.
Trying to sell you.
At CJ Saws on Twitter. Quote, well, that happened. Disgraceful performance leaves me wondering, who does the buck stop with? That's right. Where is the accountability for the fans? Surely, this is like such a dysfunctional family, kind of, and you look at Ed Woodward just like giving Ole Cavani. He's like, no, I want Sancho. It's like you got to feel bad for Ole. And so you're looking at it's a dysfunctional family at the moment, but I do think we can play better than we did today. No one's above criticism. At JDW300, quote, absolutely none of this is on Spurs today. Even Lamella, the bitch. This is entirely on everyone from the manager up to the top. Defense is absolutely atrocious with zero organization and no relief in sight. Telles included. Not sure Ole makes it to spring. I mean, look, Ole is going to get this season, and it feels harsh judging him on it. But if you really think about it, you got this team should be second or third. Especially you think those three players we're bringing in, probably another one in the domestic window. We should be finishing third place.
We should. I think you look at the number of signings made by every other club in the Premier League, and before today,
signings don't matter.
Yes, they do matter because it shows intent, and the fact that before today's game we made the least number of signings in the Premier League is an indictment on the club. Because it's not to say like we didn't need players, we didn't sell our players, we didn't buy the players we need to. I think it bleeds into
Paul
bleeds
Pogba,
below.
Bruno Fernandes,
I know how good we are.
Matic,
I know we are.
David De Gea,
It's how you
Harry
start.
Maguire, Mason Greenwood, Martial, and Rashford. You have those players on your team. You should be making top four. I can't see how this team, if it's well coached, does not make top four. If you look at, we're better than Spurs.
I still think we will.
Look at the team sheet. We're better than Spurs. We lost 6-1. So you can't be having results like that. At United Picasso, quote, how can we get rid of the stupid Glazers and Woodward? Unfortunately, like I mentioned, with coronavirus, the financials come out, I think after tomorrow. We'll do a deep dive again. We'll get you the financials. Unfortunately, because United look to be hurting so much, they're going to want such a premium to sell this club. They've owned it for so long that I think they're not going to sell it until fans are back in the stadium and it's ripping again. I really just don't see it. It's going to be another 3 to 4 years, but they will be gone. And hopefully we get that conflict-free ownership that has insane amounts of money like Mackenzie Bezos we've been dreaming of.
Yeah, but no strings attached. Keep dreaming. And here's the thing, is like the way it's been run is not sustainable. So you'd think eventually they're going to hit a wall. The wall you thought was COVID. I do think they're desperate. It's like, it's not looking that much better for their cash-making abilities in the United States, at least for the near term. Maybe you're saying there's a chance. I mean, I don't know, man. I hope $3
billion. I think $3 billion does
a deal. It's a deal for the greatest club in the history of the world.
Each Glazer gets $500 million. There you go. At Ty Kircher, quote, we heard from him before. We'll hear him on Twitter. I've never in my life been so disgusted by my club. What a disaster the season already is. If not for a bailed out handball, we'd be 1 point. They quit on us today, and that's a big problem. Fuck the lot. Fuck this season. We're beyond fucked, beyond measure. Sorry. Look, Ty's coming in hot. It's they did quit on us today. That is true. The players definitely lowered their heads. But it's one of those where even Fergie said it after 6-1 in City. Like sometimes it's just, hey, it's a bad day at the office, and players check out. It's like it's hard. I imagine it's hard not to.
It happens, right? As soon as you give up the red, which is a shit red, bullshit red, right? And then you give the crap goal, right? Like we gave up a shit red 2013, Nani. We've all talked about it. And then, we made them score a banger with Modric, right? We didn't give them the goal. Whereas today you get the red and then all of a sudden you just hand them like on a plate. Here's another goal. It's hard to come back from that. So it's like you shoot you while you're down. It was just a tough day.
Okay, we got a hot tweet for you to react to here at Bikestro on Twitter. Quote, "We know about ownership in Woodward. That's not changing anytime soon. So my question is, how can anyone be Ole in after all that he's shown us just because he scored a tap-in 20 years ago? Separate the planet from the manager. 12 years as a manager, and he can't coach." Now, here's the deal. I got to tell you, before I say this, for fans, by fans, sir. We got the Ole ins and we got the Ole outs. Here's an Ole out opinion. Is Ole the best manager to get the best out of these players at this moment in time?
Sir, I think if you consider Ole as someone who just scored a tap-in 20 years ago and that was his contribution to the club, I don't think you're a real Manchester United fan, so I'm going to call bullshit. But that being said, it's like, look at Ole, look at Jose. What they do with Jose, they're going to do the same to Ole. You fire him, you bring in Poch, you get his players, he finishes top four, you don't bring anyone in, you fire Poch, you bring in some other idiot. It's like, it's the same thing.
You're getting fired up.
Yeah, I'm fired up because it's not going to change as long as the Glazers are in charge of this club. We will never win the league with the Glazers owning this team.
Sir, there's a place for Ole. If you poll the United fan base, it'd probably be 30%
at least
out.
Today.
35% Ole out. So it's like there's a lot of Ole outers that are listening right now. I'm not going to say anyone. Look, I'm Ole will see. I've always been Ole will see. And like, in my honest opinion, if you look at Maurizio Pochettino, and I know you hate Pochettino and you'll yell at me for even mentioning his name on the podcast, would his defense be more organized than what we've seen over the last year? I would think so. If there was a criticism of Ole, the set piece defending has been sloppy from United. There's a lot of things that have been sloppy, but we've also seen goals. He's gotten the best out of Mason Greenwood. There's good things. Every manager has strengths and weaknesses. So I think it's more of a nuanced view, and Ole doesn't really have that big CV that a lot of managers have coming into United that fans kind of expect. So I think it's fair. Some fans question whether Ole is the man for the job. Is he the best manager to get the best out of these players? I think so, because he has the ethos of the club in him, right? He was in the locker room when Sir Alex was running it. He was there when they won the treble. He knows what that takes. He knows the mental side of it probably better than a Jose Mourinho or even a Louis van Gaal, right? So I do think that because he's a United legend, we need to kind of get back to our roots a little bit. And I think Ole's represented that with the youth development and bringing this team and having them gel. Maybe he'd be a good DOF type of guy to provide direction on youth, academy, stuff like that. I like Ole. I think you see where he's going with the squad. There's positives, but maybe tactically not number one. But, I'm not an expert, so I couldn't really. I'm speaking out of turn.
I mean, every coach has pros and cons, right? Like, tactically, you would say Jose Mourinho is better coach, one more experience. But what are the downsides? He's a freaking troll, and you don't buy his players. He turns nasty, and he wanted to get fired. He basically, bottled it so he get fired and get $20 million package. It makes sense. He does it at every club. Ole, he won't be backed. The problem is, we're not going to see what Ole is capable of because he should have been back this summer. He's not being backed, and now he's going to flounder, and everyone's going to be like, fuck Ole, he sucks. They're going to fire him, and we're going to be stuck in the same situation, dude. That's why I'm saying just give him time, because otherwise, what option we got? Who are we bringing in? It's like, dude, they got... Everton got, what's his name? Ancelotti is their manager, dude. It's like, as long as you back the manager, you can be successful. You cannot be successful if you do not back the manager. We haven't.
So I totally agree with that statement. And this is a nuanced issue. And we, obviously there's a lot of passion flying high on American Red Devils, because when you look at how Ole's suffering, the board didn't back Mourinho. You're not going to get the best out of Mourinho. And if you don't back Ole, you're not going to get the best out of Ole. So, sir, I do agree with you at the end of the day. Why are you hiring managers to only just take those dividends and not try to see the best Manchester United football out there? I think that's the narrative. At Teasdolsky on Twitter, quote, "A whole lot of people need to be held accountable for this. I said before, the one common denominator the past years has been our good pal Eddie, and he constantly gets a pass. Hashtag sack Woodward, sack Judge, Glazers out." I have to agree with that. That is really where the focus should be. The Cavani signing. Look, I'm going to root for Cavani, but it says it all when Ole asked for a right winger, a left back, and he's given him these opportunistic signings out of the window. At Jamal Mohtah, I'm doing my best here. These handles are tough. Quote, 1-0 at 2 minutes. I don't know what to say. Exhausted, horrid. We played poorly and we got screwed by that ridiculous red. Flops like that should come with circumstances. Totally agree. Lamela should be getting a red for that as well. I'm bracing for a bunch of Ole out, but changing the manager every 6 months won't solve this. I do agree, but I think everyone's under criticism. Everyone's under fire after a loss like this, and it's not about this loss. It's about the next match, sir. It's about the next signing. It's about a lot of things United can do after this. Could be a big wake up call.
Yeah, we got to remember, whose job is it to do what? Ole, be criticized. Didn't get the boys up for it. They bottled it. We looked terrible today. Not every call went our way. But at the end of the day, it's not even about spending money, sir. I know we have spent money in the aggregate over the last 10 years, but it's how you spend it. We spend it dumb, dude. We always just make poor choices. You take a step forward and 2 steps back. And that's why I was pissed about Cavani's, because it just doesn't make any sense. It's the whole window, he's chasing a 20-year-old winger, and he gets a 33-year-old striker who missed half the season last year with injuries. On mass.
We said we're broke. We said Manchester United can't afford it.
I know, but then don't even buy him. Buy somebody. Just wait, save your money. Wait. It's just literally it's chum for the sharks that are the United fans on Twitter, unfortunately.
Sir, that is it for the fan questions, but we got an update on our fantasy league, the American Red Devils Fantasy League. We're looking at the signed photo of Martial we have here in the bunker. We're giving that out to who can win the fantasy league. You and me not even in contention, sir.
Not even close.
I think I'm 71st place. I don't know where you're at.
I was 75th last time I checked.
Okay, first team, this is midweek, but we're going to give a shout out. Cup of the Rose FC is in first. Bruno Dos Tres in second.
Nice name.
5 stars, asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. I don't know. I think that's something. Sorry there. Super, Vitego XI, and Fantastic 15. Those are the top 5, sir. We'll be giving a shout out every month. We'll do a recap. Looking at Cup of the Rose FC, he's got Fernandez, Martial from United. The problem is you can't have a Scouse on your team. That should be a rule. He's got a Robert.
So that's why you're not any good at fantasy, bro. This guy's giving rules out. He's got his own rules.
Well,
you never win. Because you're telling me you got no City fans, no Liverpool fans, and you're wondering why you don't do very well.
Yeah, if you start a player from the team who should not be named on your team, you get banned from the fantasy.
Yeah, I'm sure you put that rule on the notes.
All right, look, that's the podcast. This has been a round of pod therapy. Alex coming in hot on Cavani, sir. I've never seen you get so hot.
I've been burned before.
Also, the Ole out gets you fired up, but we got to come to grips with. No one's above reproach. You lose to Spurs 6-1. No one's above reproach. I think that is a theme at the moment. And let's hope the boys can come back. For the podcast schedule, we'll be getting a history podcast out next weekend. We're doing the founding of Manchester United. We're going to do some, during international breaks, we'll do some 20, 30-minute podcasts about history, cover any news throughout the break, player forum, etc. I'm sure they'll be talking about transfers as well. But getting back to our roots, sir, that's why we have the scarf. The greatest of English football. We've won it all, sir. Everyone can chirp as much as they want, but they don't have 20 titles, sir. And that's why, Manchester United are the greatest club in world football.
You got to remind them. For fans, by fans, we are very lucky to have the fans we do because we got to stick together. It's going to be a long season. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but that's what it's all about.
I ain't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, sir.
Nowhere.
Woodward's
gone before we are. That's the thing.
Hashtag Glazers out.
On sale.
I'm about to tweet that out right now. Hashtag Sack Woodward with that clown nose. We got those stickers in their store. If you like to support the pod, drop a review on iTunes. We really appreciate it, sir. We got top downloads last 7 days. You want to read them out? Top cities.
You got it, sir. Number 1. How you doing? Coppell, Texas. Number 2, Brewster, New York. Denver, Colorado. Pittsburgh, PA. Allentown, PA. Lee's, Missouri. Number 7, Frankston, Australia. Number 8, Dublin, Ireland. Columbus, Ohio.
Dark Ale, Ireland.
And Chicago, Illinois. Appreciate all the downloads. Appreciate everyone listening in, week out. This one's going to be for the hardcores and for the masochists.
Yeah,
today is like, you need the therapy or you just want to hear us slate the boys for an hour. It is what,
Look,
you get that.
If you're listening, you're the hardest of hardcores. We never miss a match, sir. We never miss a pod, sir. We've had babies, we've had weddings, we've had everything. This team, Manchester United, absolutely love this club. Screw the ownership. Hashtag Glazers out. They're all clowns. Ole's United legend. Come on, lads. You can come back. Clap back. We need to come back. We're going to clap back after national break. Look, take this one on the chin, move on, sir. Just never give up, never surrender.
Great time to lose big.
There's never been a better time to lose big than international. But we're going to finish on the Mikey C. Get the Glazers out, sir. The Glazers out rap. Enjoy it.
Answer me this. Why is it any season we finish within the top 4, the manager then ends up sacked and there's no investment
I don't see
being
your
put into
name
the
enough
club.
around the motherfucking city, man. Like Cottonmouth was just
It's like there's no forward thinking
laying the foundation
within the management, the owners that own our club. It's like you